All right. So like I said, I saw this video popped up as well, and I'm very curious. Let me see. What are the comment section? Because this guy's saying why withering waves will flop. That's a pretty strong word to use. Um, it's very interesting. Let me see. Withering waves will flippity flop. Reasons are in the video, but I just don't currently see it unaliving and anything right now. Unaliving. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that word is. Anything right now. I hope I'm wrong, but I give it 1 to 2 months after launch. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section. I'll be reading those. We'll make a video on the things I think are great. Interesting. Bro said he wanted Withering Waves to be its own thing, but moments later proceeds to make it more like Genshin by turning up the contrast. Is this what Stockholm Syndrome looks like? Definitely this guy's first game is Genshin. Man wanted Withering Waves to be Genshin 2.0 and its hysterical brain-dead gameplay. Bright and colorful to my eyes and etc. Why Withering Waves will succeed. The name, bro, is this friendly fire run better on mobile. Your PFP sus. Bro, you cook too long, you're burnt. Nope, not letting you cook. Not letting you cook, you're just yapping. He's saying he doesn't expect it to bring anything back to life. He's saying the game is dead. Dead on arrival? I don't know about that. That's a really strong, bold claim to say unaliving itself, you know. That's really bold. If you're saying it's actually dead on arrival or something like that, that's kind of weird, to be honest, in my personal opinion. I don't know about that, to be honest. I don't know about that. Well, let's take a look. I'm curious. I'm curious to see why he says Withering Waves will flop.
I think Wuthering Waves will flop. Now, hear me out. Ooh, they look kind of cool, but hear me out. I got some points. Just let me cook. A big reason why I think Wuthering Waves will flop is because it is a direct one-to-one to Genshin. Why? Well, I think if you can't even take care of the small things or the weak things in your game, how can I expect you in the long?
Well, of course, because it's trying to compete in the same genre as Genshin Impact. You know, it's an open world, third person hack and slash kind of game. You know, it's like what do you want them to do? You know, of course they're trying to compete with Genshin Impact in the same sphere, trying to get the audiences, trying to get the piece of the pie of that revenue share. You know. But then, you know, Withering Waves is like, oh, we can do better than Genshin Impact because Genshin players are not satisfied with the content that they're basically receiving in updates. So, of course, you know, Kuro Games is going to step into the ring and try its hands out in the genre itself. So,
long run of the game to fix the big things. Let's even talk Genshin 1.0.
Take care, hun. Sleep well.
When Genshin dropped, there was a lot of issues. They never fixed them. And look where it's at now. Bringing it back to a one-to-one to Genshin, I mean, it's so bad that literally they use the same text. Now, we're not talking about natural innovation.
Wait, what? You just talked about the text or so?
Fix them. And look where it's at now. Bringing it back to a one-to-one to Genshin, I mean, it's so bad that literally they use the same text. Now,
that is a very terrible argument, but it's pretty fucking funny. Oh my god, they're using the same Comic Sans. Oh no. That's funny. I'll be honest with you, it's pretty fucking funny, but terrible, very terrible argument.
we're not talking about natural innovation where we go.
That argument, I think it's like saying every writer should be dang for using the same typing format. They're like, oh my god, they're using Comic Sans. Oh my god, I want my writing to be like, I don't know, in cursive or something, so I don't have to read it, you know.
oh, let's copy this game and make it better. No, this game literally just took the Genshin template.
They did make it better. What do you mean? What? Wait, what? Hold on. Can I listen to that real quick?
Bad that literally they use the same text. Now, we're not talking about natural innovation where we go, oh, let's copy this game and make it better. No, this game literally just took the Genshin template and copied and pasted, turned down the saturation.
No, they didn't. What are you talking about? They made it better. I don't think he has played the game. I don't think he's played the beta. I really generally don't think he did. I actually generally don't think he did. Like, cause we just saw a video or so what Japan thinks about it. I can't flop now. Hey, Sunset. What do you mean? Like, that makes no sense. They did. Okay, they took the base skeleton of an open world, which, remember, Genshin Impact stole it from Breath of the Wild, okay? Alright? Genshin Impact stole it from Breath of the Wild, okay? So the Withering Waves took the skeleton of what Genshin did, and then they made it better, okay? I don't think he has played the beta. Like, I haven't played the beta, right? But I know for a fact that a lot of people have told me, oh, it is great. It is like a lot more better than, because of, you know, they try to explain it without spoiling anything to me, and all I've been hearing is just like great stuff, you know. So
we'll get to that in a second. Now we can address the elephant in the room.
And even then, the saturation thing, I'm fine with it because it's supposed to be a post-apocalyptic world, anyways. I don't mind a very more gray, monotone-ish color palette, especially in an apocalyptic world. What do you think an apocalyptic world is supposed to be all sunshine and rainbows and super saturated and stuff like that? It's kind of crazy, in my personal opinion. You know, it's like you know, I'm like, the problem is you can't turn up the saturation too much on a post-apocalyptic world. It just loses its identity, and it's just trying to be like Genshin Impact at the end of the day, you know? Hey, Sal. It's like saying Arknight should be all rainbows and sunshines. Yeah, like, I don't mind Arknights being the gloomy, you know, sad, like, it's nice to have a sad, depressing, you know, story sometimes, you know. It you know, I play freaking PGR, you know. The story in those, for some of those characters, are fucking depressing and saddening, you know. It's like, you know, it works. It's fine. There's no issue with it. You don't need to have like always a super happy ending for everything. Sometimes life just, you know, sometimes just life isn't always that way, you know. Just saying, you know.
Of course, the combat is better. The echoes are cool, and the combat is better.
Okay, so you just said that they just copied it 1-to-1 and didn't change the formula, but you're now just contradicting yourself and saying that the combat and the echoes is way better than Genshin Impact. Interesting.
But how fucking long is that gonna take until we get tired of this shit? This is the problem with
I'm like, that's almost like every gacha game. They have the same repetitiveness. It's just, you know, what TBH is like, it's just up to your choice or so to how much you want, and like how much can you handle the repetitiveness. Hot take. But I feel like people are overreacted to the Penacony story from Star Rail. I never liked this. So far, I've never liked the story for the Penacony. Like the first, like the, what is it, 2.0 story. I thought it was, I was like, okay. I don't feel sad for the girl that died. So I'm like, am I supposed to feel sorry for her? Like, I kind of don't feel sorry for her. It's just kind of like,
Gacha players, we just keep going in the same fucking loop and keep getting tricked into the same fucking shit over.
And you want to know something? At least the combat in here is better, and then the boss fights are a lot more challenging, so it'll last longer, and there is even, like, you know, more things to do, so. And even then, on top of that, it's just like, they added stuff for casual players in this game anyways, to begin with. So you're kind of already losing that already, so. Yeah.
and over and over and over again. It gives me Tower Fantasy vibes. I think people are just operating off hype right.
Does this give Tower Fantasy vibes? No. Withering Waves does not give Tower Fantasy vibes. Maybe in some aspects, yeah, but I don't really think so. I'm just kind of like, okay, wow. I'm only 1 minute into the video, and like, I'm kind of like, wow, man, I'm already kind of dissecting everything he's saying
right now, and they just are waiting for a main game to play because there isn't really a big gacha main game unless you still play Genshin. Remember when Tower Fantasy dropped, everyone called that a Genshin killer, and all.
To be honest, apparently that was fake, apparently. And even then, on top of that, Tower of Fantasy, Tower of Fantasy is an MMO at the end of the day. It's not a Genshin competitor. It's an MMO. And then of course, saying Genshin Impact killer in the title or in the thumbnail or anything like that is for clicks at the end of the day. So, it's clickbaiting, I don't know why he's taking that for real. And also on top of that, yeah, because I heard that the developer said like, oh, we're the Genshin killers, but then I found out that like it wasn't real apparently. So
I'll be honest, Tower Fantasy was very fun for the first month, but after the first month, you start to realize the gameplay.
I'd say about a couple of weeks, to be honest, in my personal opinion. And it was fun for a couple of weeks. It's just that the problem is that like there was like major hackers and like people DDoSing or so. Granted, like during my server there wasn't anything that crazy, but the hackers were pretty rampant and made it pretty unfun. Like it basically had the same issues it did in China, and China told them, hey, you need to fix this before you release it in global, and they still didn't fix it when they released it in global. So that's pretty much is what it came to be. Hey Pat, how you doing there?
Play loop me like, I don't know. And I do think Tower Fantasy had good aspects, but it just wasn't executed.
What aspects is that? I think the only thing that's good, like the only thing that's good about the aspect of it was the social aspect, right? Because at the same time, Tower of Fantasy was more social because it was a more MMO-ish, right? Compared to Genshin, where it's more of a single player game. And the co-op is kind of like tacked onto it like at last moment. So every time I see something go killer or clone, it's equivalent to every dinosaur thing that goes bigger than T-Rex, and it makes my brain rot.
Executed very well. Now you're like, okay, why are you yapping? What are you talking about? Okay, of course, yes, it's a copy of Genshin, blah, blah, blah. The reason why I think this is a problem is because I feel like if they can't even take this template of Genshin and make it 10x better or 2x, let's one.
But you just said that the echoes and the combat was just better. What do you mean? You literally just said it earlier in the video that the combat and the echoes is really good in this game. And also, what do you expect them to change? Like, what truly are you actually expecting them to change when it's literally a open world, single player, third person hack and slash game? What are you expecting? Like, are you expecting an FPS game to come out of this? It's kind of confusing, to be honest, right? So first of all, he contradicted himself to begin with, right? Already immediately, right? And then like he's saying like, oh, they have to come up with something new and refreshing, and it's kind of like, what do you want them to do? Give an idea. Give me an idea in the next minute or so. Let me see. Tell me what you come up with.
1.x better. Then what are you even doing? I feel like they don't have a future plan to make this game its own thing. They say, oh, let's make Genshin, but with better combat. That's not a.
What? Exactly. Like you said, they are compete with Genshin, not make a Fortnite clone. Yeah, because like they're competing against Genshin, so of course they're gonna make some aspects similar but better. What?
Because I feel like if they can't even take this template of Genshin and make it 10x better or 2x, let's 1.x better, then what are you even doing? I feel like they don't.
So what do you want them to do? Tell me. You tell me. What is your idea? Since apparently you know what could make Withering Waves better, right? I'm very curious. What can you make Withering Waves better? I'm very curious to hear what you think.
They don't have a future plan to make this game its own thing. They say, oh, let's make Genshin, but with better combat. That's not a fucking enough. It's not enough. I want a fresh game that's
better story. They literally rechanged the story 80% compared to Genshin Impact. They redid they made the animations more smoother in the combat itself. They redesigned characters as well compared to Genshin Impact. What else did they add? They added a Pokemon catch feature. And Genshin doesn't have anything of that similar nature. They have actual end game where it scales on difficulty the more further you go in. Genshin doesn't have anything of that. What else does it have? Since I haven't played the beta, right? I haven't played the beta, but I've heard and my friend told me without spoiling anything too much for me. Also, they have wall climbing. Also, there's no stamina consumption as well as what I've been hearing too. So, does it really matter if this game truly is better than Genshin? What do you mean better than Genshin? This game doesn't understand. They're trying to steer the Genshin players to Withering Waves. Yeah, of course. I think adding Booba Fist will make the game. Shut the fuck up. Parkour, no stamina. I'm in. Yeah, in the what is it? The one that the video that we reacted to of what Japan thinks about Withering Waves or so. Apparently, like I think on the running animation or so, it doesn't consume stamina, and also climbing up, not climbing, but like wall running up the walls or so, doesn't consume stamina. So it's already 10 times more better in that department compared to Genshin Impact. You know, where in Genshin Impact, you slowly climb up, and if you have Kazuha, you can press, you can press whatever, what is it, C or Z or whatever, and then jump up, press E, and then keep doing it over and over and over again, and that's pretty much it. While in Withering Waves, you just wall run up the wall, you just go up the wall, and that's it. So I don't think he has played the beta. I think he's just salty that he didn't get into the beta. And he's just making this video. Don't worry, I'm salty too that I didn't get into the Withering Waves beta either, so it's okay.
That brings something new. I'll give you an example. Let's take
Basically, the crowd is already latched onto Genshin, so making something that's similar, even if it's better, it's not really going to cause to migrate. Think about how many WoW killers there were, but no one moved on. No one moved on from WoW because they're already in trance. Yeah, but I'm gonna move from Genshin to Withering Waves because Genshin is just boring. It's not fun. There's nothing to do. What's the point of building characters? What's the point of leveling up talents? What's the point of even doing anything in the game? When it's just filled a bunch of mini games that are not fun, not entertaining. So it's just kind of like, and also they made the combat part of the event so 10 times more easier that they added a mechanic or so where they instantly kill all the mobs. So at the same time, it's kind of like, what's the point? What is the point? True. Yeah, and even then, it's just a gacha game at the end of the day. I'm going to be transferring over to Withering Waves when Genshin dies. So I think the last character, if the sources are correct, that Withering Waves is coming out in 2 months from now, right? I don't know what the last character I'll be pulling for, but it will be the last Pokemon. It'll be the last character. So Pokemon might also be an example. Pokemon is awful, but all the Pokemon killers like Temtem really got off the ground, but then Power come along and it's different enough. Yeah, but at the same time, Withering Waves is catering to people like us who enjoyed hard content, an actual endgame reward. There's nothing to do in Genshin. Literally, there's nothing to do in Genshin. I've already concerned my complaints or so on the game itself. They don't do jack shit. So They only listen to their Chinese. They only listen to their Chinese audiences. So what's the point of me even bothering telling anything about it? So
FPS in battle royales. When Fortnite dropped, it said, okay, how can we make
oh, why are we talking about Fortnite?
enough? It's not enough. I want a fresh game that brings something new. I'll give you an example.
You want a fresh game? Don't play gacha games. I'm like, everything, like, you, if you want a fresh game, right, everything has already kind of been played out. You know, there's nothing really fresh when it comes to games, right? You can add a different mechanic, that's about it, but the genre is still the same. You know, it's kind of like, you know, there's not really anything fresh, okay? All right? It's not really, you know.
Example, let's take FPSs in battle royales. When Fortnite dropped, it said, okay, how can we make an FPS a battle royale,
But Fortnite is third person. It's not an FPS though. Am I crazy? Fortnite is third person, right? It's not an FPS. If I remember, he's saying FPS because it's not a first person shooter.
make it way better? Oh, well, I hate getting shot in the fucking back in PUBG, so let's add fucking walls. And guess what? It became the most successful game ever. Genshin, it came into the gacha.
The reason why Fortnite is successful, number one, right? Like, the reason why is because, like, yes, they did innovate on making it like the building mechanic and stuff, but then also they kept this progressing thing because of all the, it's basically like the Smash Bros, you know, for third person shooters. You know, they basically have everybody in the game, you know, almost everybody. You know, all the skins that they added, right? The innovations that they do almost like almost every season or so. They always bring something new, something refreshing, always turn on its head and everything like that. So that's why. In my vision, I really think there hasn't been a proper Genshin competition till now. Gyro is more competitive. There's more turn-based gachas.
Space and said, how about we actually just try to make a good game? Let's make a game where instead of you getting a 2D fucking card of a character and you just get the fucking look of the.
I like how he's saying 2D card of a game, right? But it's like, but that's how it was in the old days, you know? Like, I actually enjoyed that, actually. I actually did enjoy playing those gacha games where you had a card, you know, you get a character of a card, you know, and sometimes it'll be the most powerful, you know. I actually played those. You know, I think this person played them like today, because this person looks young. This person doesn't look very old. He's a pretty young kid. So I'm gonna be honest with you, he probably played some card games, thought he was whack. I love your streams and keep doing what you're doing, and I can't wait for the journey we have in the future. My journey is getting canceled, for my opinion.
Stats, right, where you get to see a side scroller version of it. Let's make a 3D game where you can actually see the abilities. You can see the 3D model and the beauty of the world.
Yeah, because we finally reached to that technology that you can actually do that. You know, back then, you know, we were pretty limited on hardware, but now we're in a different space and a different timeline where everything is more advanced in technology, where we have more powerful phones and all this other stuff, right? Now we can do that stuff. And also the engines that we use can now do those things. You know, it's a little bit different back then than how it is now. So.
And guess what? It became one of the most successful games ever. This shit, it's literally like, oh, let's do what Genshin does, but let's just add extra animations. Oh, and also let's turn down the saturation to be edgy. Fuck that. I'm sorry, but I don't.
There's nothing wrong for the saturation to be decreased, because you want to know something? This is an apocalyptic world, okay? All right? It's pretty simple, okay? Like, you can still show beauty in a apocalyptic world, you know? Like, for example, The Last of Us? The Last of Us has some very beautiful scenes, and then has some pretty gray scenes, you know? Indeed, if anyone knows Dokkan Battle, the animations they do evolve over time. Yeah, it's just like The Last of Us. The Last of Us is also pretty good. It's also pretty good too as well. But there's also some moments that it's just kind of like has pretty dull colors, you know? It doesn't have to be saturated. There could be some moments that is just not like that, and then there's some moments that can be, you know, this high contrast saturation. Me personally, I don't really care. Me personally, I don't really care. I don't mind of it being so gloomy and dark and depressing and stuff like that, you know? It just makes you think how the world is, you know? As long as the story is like really, really, really good, then we're pretty much A-okay.
I don't see it becoming its own thing. I think Wuthering Waves will be the little brother, the shadow of Genshin forever. And that's
Man, this guy is definitely defending Genshin Impact. Like, he really is defending Genshin Impact, really. I feel like Genshin Impact is his first fucking gacha game for some apparent reason. I don't know, it just gives me, he's just like really saying, it's like, oh man, Withering Waves is just not gonna succeed, you know, and all this other stuff, you know, and...
That's why I think it will flop ultimately. It still looks a little dull. Now I'll prove to you what I mean. So let's go up into the Adobes and let's look at this photo. So we have this photo. Oh, this is what the game looks like right now, like literally right now in this beta. Now I am going to put on a brightness and contrast at a 23. Core games, you need.
That's what everyone, you know, that's what the content creators are making it to be. And then these people who are Genshin dick riders are taking that, you know. I've been hearing good things from Withering Waves. I'm interested in at least trying it. Oh, I'm 100% going to try it, because you want to know why? Kuro Games knows how to respect their players. Because you want to know something? Apparently you have a guaranteed weapon banner. It's 100% rate up. So you're guaranteed to get the weapon on the weapon banner. That's how good it is.
Listen up, you need to be taking these notes here. In a 27 contrast, we're gonna pop that on and you'll see the difference. It's not a huge difference, but it makes a big difference in the end. So
no, guaranteed, I'm sold.
Let's turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. One clearly looks better and is more vibrant. Now I'm going to turn the saturation up. Now a lot of people say, oh well, they made the game a lot more saturated. No, they fucking didn't. I have the saturation at 43 plus 43. That's a lot of fucking saturation. If you use Photoshop before, that's a fuck ton of saturation. That will fuck your photo up. I'm going to turn it on and you're going to see the difference. Wow, look at how that pops. Now you might say that's a little too much, but somewhere in there, but look at the difference.
Okay, so you're saying that's too much saturation, so you should bring it down to the saturation. So then it's still gonna be like gray. Like it's still gonna be gray at the end of the day. So it's kind of like, okay, so you're saying, oh man, no, that's too much. Maybe we'll bring it down a little bit. Okay, so then we're just going back to where we were, back almost to square one then. Okay, all right, like bro, like it's just how it is, you know? Hey man, have you seen the real world, man? Sometimes it just doesn't look pretty sometimes, okay? All right, sometimes it looks pretty dull, all right? I don't think you went outside to touch grass, because you're in here in your basement, you know, with your LED lights, you know, in your mama's basement, you know, and with your hoodie up, with you look like Sister Lord from fucking Star Wars, and you know you're just making a video to defend Genshin, I guess, you know. Okay, all right.
So when I turn it off and on, look at that. That's a big ass fucking difference. They need to fix this 100%. That's the
no, me personally, I don't think they need to fix it. I'm okay with the way how it is. Can they bump it up a little bit for like the browns and like the greens? Like I guess you can, but the problem is like, how is the lighting in the world? You know, depending on the lighting of the world, it all really depends where it's at. And besides that, at the end of the day, it's a post-apocalyptic world. It's supposed to be moody. It's supposed to be grindy. It's supposed to be grimy. Oh, it's supposed to be looking depressed. I'm like, God. Hey, Solomon. Not everything is Disney, my dude. Yeah, of course. Yeah, nothing needs to be so colorful. Nothing needs to be happy and everything like that, you know? It's fine. I'm okay with it. I'm fine. Like, I'm generally just okay with it being a post-apocalyptic world that's supposed to be gritty, more down to earth kind of, not this like high fantasy, There's a difference between a fantasy world, right? And a post-apocalyptic world, right? Let's take a look at Arknights, because I know Arknights is one of the good examples of having that specific scenario. There's a lot of grays, there's a lot of blacks, there's a lot of browns, in some of the art and some of the cutscenes and stuff like that, compared to Genshin Impact, which is a high fantasy game with super high fantasy colors, high saturation and everything. It's supposed to be a go happy go tale, of an adventure. There's a difference between something being in a post-apocalyptic world, and then something that's super high fantasy, which is very go lucky, go fun, go advertise, like basically the Konosuba kind of thing, right? Konosuba is pretty, has a lot of high saturated colors, it's just because it's a pretty go happy kind of, fantasy tale, it's not like, I don't know. For me personally, I'm okay with it. It is fine. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the colors. Can they turn it up slightly a little bit on the browns and greens, like on the leaves and stuff? Yeah, you can say that, but at the end of the day, it's a post-apocalyptic world. I'm okay.
Easy fix, but I'm not done yet. Let's try another photo. So we're gonna do this one. This is the like grayest area of the map. I'm gonna do the same thing. This is how it looks right now in this CPT 2 or beta 2, whatever. You turn it on. Looks way better. Instantly makes the game way more beautiful. And I think the art in the rocks and like the landscaping is nice, but other than
it looks like it's on a mountain or so, and there's like fog around the area. It kind of just loses the fog itself.
And that, no. Okay, so off, on, off, on. That's a big fucking difference.
Hey man, you don't know where this is from. Maybe it's probably in Britain, Britain or so, in England, It's always gray over there. I'm just saying, England is always fucking gray all the time, because they're close to the coastal region. So
if you don't have eyes, then you know what the fuck I'm talking about. But you should be able to see this difference, okay?
Britland, yes, Britland.
So the story, a lot of people are copium, like, oh my fucking god, like it's gonna get better, bro. We said that in 1.0 of Genshin, because that's what made me play the game. I was like, wow, like the three-headed water dragon and all that stuff. I'm like, oh,
that is not in 1.0.
this game's gonna get so good. And if that
was not in 1.0. That was not in 1.0. Also, they changed about like 80% of the story in Withering Waves. They literally said it in the interview with the developers that they literally went back to the drawing board and changed 80% of the story for Withering Waves. I think it was like 80 or 90% or something like that. And they said it, and some of the people said it's already better than the first beta story. So we're kind of already in a better traction compared to Genshin Impact. So, and besides that, Genshin Impact is literally just Breath of the Wild, at the beginning.
I think this game's the same thing. If they can't even innovate the gameplay itself, like the game itself, what the fuck?
What do you mean the gameplay? You just said it earlier in the video. You just said it. What are you talking about? Okay, all right. This man is going on a tangent.
Makes you think they're going to innovate the dialogue, innovate the story. I mean, they already got battle passes and shit.
What do you mean? They already did innovate the story. What are you talking about? Okay, all right.
We'll get into that. But I also feel like the story will not improve. It's boring. The dialogue is too fucking long. And here, let's see if I can pull this up. And they better hope I didn't get the dialogue. So look, let's pull up this dialogue. And look, we could do the filter on the dialogue too. Look at that. Look at that difference.
That is way too fucking saturated. I don't like that. My eyes are hurting from that saturation, actually.
Could kind of go in between. But look, here's what you do.
Okay? Oh, dude, that is way too fucking bright. Ugh. I always turn down my stuff anyway, so.
MiHoYo. I mean, fuck. Kuro game. See, I thought this was a fucking Genshin screenshot. The problem with Genshin and pretty much every gacha's dialogue is look at this small ass fucking 2-sentence little area here. What is this, a fucking anime? Bro, make this shit big.
It's an anime gacha game. What do you mean? Of course, it's an anime. It's fucking. It's a fucking anime. It's an anime gacha game. What are you talking about? I'm confused. Isn't Withering Waves an anime gacha game? Isn't Genshin Impact an anime gacha game as well? What is happening here? Are you sure we're talking about the same Withering Waves? I feel like we're not talking about the same Withering Waves. I feel like there must have been like, I don't know, some Mexican ripoff of Withering Waves somewhere.
Bigger. I don't want to be clicking 32 fucking times on my F and space key in my fucking mouse button.
Yeah, but you can just click this. Yeah, this guy has not played the beta 100% because there's a skip button in Withering Waves. There's literally a skip cutscene button in like the top corner. Yeah, this guy has not played the beta 100%. This guy is just literally just speaking out of his ass. So next he's going to say the game is bad because it's gacha. These games also have a auto button. Yeah, there's a skip button. Yeah, you can skip the dialogue. I don't recommend you do because it's Kuro games because they actually do make good stories. But yeah, there is a skip button.
To get through this dialogue, this is what you do. Let's just put some text here, okay? We're just gonna type stuff in. Hopefully it catches it and it's not catching it. Okay, well, I'm gonna just edit that out so it looks like I knew what I was talking about. We're gonna just copy this a few times. Instead of making this small ass text, how about you just make a fucking paragraph so the people that want to read that shit can sit there and waste their fucking breath and life and eye power reading that bullshit. I don't want to read this shit.
I don't know too much about Withering Waves because I didn't get into the beta, unfortunately. So yeah. Hello there. I'm the doctor. Who might you be? I'm an eldritch being. What are you doing here? Indimus problem fixing child. You're fixing a child? What kind of child are you trying to fix here? Is this guy really shitting on the game for having cutscenes? No, he's shitting on the game because he can't read more than like 2 sentences, you know? That's why he's angry because, you know, he's like, oh, I can't read these 2 sentences. What is this, an anime or something? And I'm like, it's an anime gacha game? Of course, it's an anime. Oh no, I defeat supernatural beings. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm beyond supernatural. But how you doing there, hun? Welcome to the stream or so. My name is Sunako Nyaru. I'm a Nyaru VTuber and also #1 dummy mommy. Hello, greetings. Welcome. I hope you're doing well today. Because of the more text you put on the screen, the more people don't want to read it. We want to see what is going on behind the text. Fool. Doesn't Genshin do cutscenes the exact same way? Yeah, they have dialogue like this. Sometimes they'll have like four sentences in a cutscene or so. Hey, Shoko.
Be real, no one cares about these NPCs anyway. Fuck them. Boom. Fix the game. I instantly made the game more bearable. This, my friends, is how it should look from now on. Now you're like, oh, that's stupid. Yeah, you say it's stupid until you gotta sit through an hour.
But it's like 2 sentences. What is so hard about 2 sentences? Why? What's so hard about 2 sentences? Man, dude, this guy's a baby, to be honest. He's definitely a youngster, cause like, if he's complaining about 2 sentences, man, dude, don't give this man a whole entire paragraph. He's gonna rage. He's gonna flip his desk over.
Hour of clicking through text. Fuck that. What you need to do.
Well, you can just like I said again. You can just skip the cutscene. You know, you can there will be a skip cutscene in the corner. You can literally just do that if you don't want to listen to the story. You know, it's literally right there in the corner. So.
Is make the dialogue a little bit longer so the story and listening to these dumbass side stories were a little bit more bearable. The world, and this is my problem with a lot of these games, and I think Genshin did an okay job with this, but the world feels empty. I feel like I'm just in a literal sandbox and I'm just there. It's just like, oh yeah, just get these chests, run around. I want to feel like the world actually is alive.
It's a post-apocalyptic world. What do you mean? Everyone's mostly fucking dead. Damn, maybe we should probably add Timmy. It's probably because Timmy isn't in the game. That's probably why. He probably wants Timmy in the game. That's probably why. That's the reason. That's 100% the reason. Are you telling me like every broken ruined city has to have an NPC or has to have NPCs in there or has to have a monster there every time? You know? Do they have to be there? Does the fucking beaches of Normandy have to have fucking, you know, everything in there? Oh my god, Jesus Christ. I clearly don't know what he's talking about. It's complaining that there's too little text in the box. If you put more in the box, then he would complain that there is too much text. This is dead. This dead world is too dead. Apparently. Like, it's a post-apocalyptic world.
For example, you play Honkai Star Rail, although you know it's a game.
But Honkai Star Rail isn't an open world though. It's a open zone world. You know? It's more contained, so you can have more stuff on the screen. You've already lost that argument already. It's just open zones. It's what it is. It's called open zones.
You know there are NPCs. There are people walking around. You feel like the city is alive. Now I understand
because it's open zones. It's open zones. There's zones that have things in them, and it's also pretty linear compared to Genshin Impact, which is 10 times more massive than Honkai Star Rail. And there's like a lot of shit on the screen. You know, there's so much fucking crap everywhere. You know, there's chests, there's fucking bosses, there's elites, there's fucking normal camps, you know, there's all of this, all of that, life endemics, you know, everything, etc. So
and that the game is a lot smaller, the worlds are a lot smaller, but at the same time, it's like, bro, put some fucking work in. I want to see people walking around. I want to see a bunch of.
Has he like not gone into the city or something? There doesn't need to be NPCs everywhere, okay? It doesn't really need to be freaking. Are you telling me that you want to add NPCs in the middle of a dangerous, like in a dangerous environment or something like that?
Of interaction going on, because that makes you like immersed in the game. Pity. We're going to talk about the banners and the pity. People have copium over the pity system. Say, oh my god, the pity system, like it's a little bit better than Genshin's, it's a little bit better than Honkai's. Oh my god, they're what? Anytime you spend money, you lose. Every pity system is garbage.
Well, welcome to fucking Gacha, bro. I'm like, what do you expect them to earn money from? Are you expected for them to give you a free game and expect you to update? You expect them to update the game for free without earning anything in return? That's stupid. This is so dumb. I think he's angry because he lost his pity or so on Sparkle. That's probably why. So. I'm like, bro, that's how it works. I'm like, that's how it works, bro. It's called Gacha for a reason, right? I'm like, you'll eventually spend money. If you like the game long enough, you're gonna stick around and spend money, you know, because you enjoy the game and you're rewarding the developers and be like, hey, here you go. He's right. We still back to the day of no pity system. You saying he is right? Is that what you're saying? It's called Gacha because they got your money. Yeah, and even then it's like, you know, you still, if you're enjoying the game, of course you're gonna pay a little bit of money, you know? And even then on top of that, they're gonna have skins for the characters. No doubt about that, they're gonna have skins for these characters. Like, no doubt. Because I play PGR, of course, you know, and they make amazing fucking skins. And also number two, the gacha system is better than Genshin Impact. Like, it is. I feel like he has not played the beta. I actually generally don't believe he actually plays the beta. Like, I actually don't feel like he did. Like, I'm like, he's like saying this, like he has, like he's experienced and witnessed it, you know, in firsthand.
Because it's making you spend money. The only pity system that wouldn't be bad is if it gave you something for free. I'm sorry, but every pity system is garbage. Every gacha game's system and monetization is garbage. It's predatory.
No fucking shit, Sherlock. It's a fucking mobile game. It's a free-to-play mobile game. What the what the fuck? What kind of logic is that? It's a fucking mobile game. It's a gacha game. That's the whole point of the word fucking gacha in it. Hello? Am I the only one who doesn't know about this? What? What? I don't even know if he knows how pity works. He just probably lost his 50-50. He's just making this video. That's probably the reason why, you know. I don't know, dude, to be honest, it's so dumb.
Predatory, that's just how it fucking is. Yeah, instead of spending $300, we only have to spend $250 to get a character. Like, get out of here. Now,
what are you talking about? You only spend like $100 to get a character. That's it, you know. Sounds like a skill issue if you can't get your character, you know. I'm just saying, you know. I just only got to spend $100 to get my character. You got to spend like $250? Sounds like a skill issue in my personal opinion. Get good, son.
On top of that, the animation for when you pull is probably the most garbage animation I've seen in any fucking game. So let me show you this. So look at this. It comes out the water and it just changes color. Are you fucking serious? Oh wow, the cloud split. Bitch, I could go outside and see that shit right now. Like, bro.
No, you can't really see exactly the same as that, but like, can the animation be a little bit better? Yeah, you know, it's such a minute thing. Can the animation be a little bit better? Yeah, it can be, but it's not that big of a deal for me personally, because you want to know why? Because when the character comes out, when you actually get the character in your 10 pull, the animation for the character, the characters are animated, you know, they're actually animated. Here, watch, I'll show you guys right now. Let's see, Withering Waves, Gacha. Let's see, animation. Boop. So like when the characters, like, you know, when you get the characters and whatnot, right? So this is how it is, right? Yeah, see? The characters do animations. See? Also, hearing that music in the background is actually pretty good, actually. Yeah, see? So these are the gacha animations. Also, that music is really going hard. I feel like he's missing the point when it comes to, like, you know, when it comes to this specifically. Like, he's not talking about the characters having, you know, their own animations, you know. Maybe because this is just a negative video, he's just talking about all the negative stuff, you know. But so far he's not really, like, some of the negatives are kind of very, like, super minute, you know. Yeah, see? It's pretty good. Like, these are pretty damn good. Yeah, the polling animation, yeah, you can say it's the same thing, but like when the characters come out, you know, it beats Honkai Star Rail, and it beats Genshin Impact, you know, because they have their characters have personality, and they come out, you know, when you get them like that, you know. Yeah, see, it's just you know, it's just kind of like that, you know. So
give me some scientific, fucking unworldly, paranormal fucking animations. I believe in if you complain about something, you should also give a solution. So this is how you fix this, Kuro Games.
this is why for us, it's like I don't really mind the gacha pulling animation, because you want to know why. The reason why is because they added more personality and more flair to the characters coming out of that poll. Out of that one character poll, they, you know, they come out and do their animations and they speak and whatnot, you know, compared to like, oh wow, I'm gonna, you know, the 5-second animation that we're gonna see before the character comes out. Wow, yes, let's focus our resources on a 5-second animation thing than whatever other important thing there is. You know, you see where the logic is. That is like putting your resources on something so minute compared to everything else that needs to be focused on, that's more important than a 5 or a 3-second animation that you're only gonna see it one time, and you're gonna press the skip button at the end of the day. So
watching this, so when you pull and this thing comes out the water, let this go on for like another 2 seconds, because this is like some little thing in the sky. It shouldn't change color. It should be gray the whole time. Now, when the clouds split, something should come out of the clouds. A big ass dragon, a god, something should come out of the clouds with a fucking large ass god bat, a punch or a fist, something, a kick, and smack the fuck out of this thing that's going in the sky. And
you want to know why I'm not worried about this, right? Because in PGR, they actually did change their animation for the gacha poll. They actually did change it in PGR. I think like I think in like their 1.5 anniversary or their 2 anniversary. On their 2nd anniversary, I think it was like after their 2nd anniversary, they changed it. They changed the animation gacha. And that's pretty much it. So they'll change it in the future. But at the moment, it's not really a priority at the moment. So it's just something that's so minute.
As it hits it, it should change color. That will be one of the best animations ever. Imagine that. My last 50-50, oh my God, right? You pull, the clouds open up, a god comes out, and just imagine you're free to play and you got 10 pulls left, and it's your favorite character in the entire game. And you're like, oh my God, okay, I gotta pull. You pull, and that shit just instantly goes gray. That was no experience. Like, this shit is way too short. It's not interesting enough. They can fix this, so I'm not gonna get on them too much, but you should get on them so they actually fucking change it. And the worst part about this is afterwards.
The only reason why I say that, right, is because I play PGR, right? I played it since like the release of PGR. And I see it changed and evolve over time. And they did change the animations for the polling system. So they're going to do the same thing for this too, but way later down the line. So Yeah, I'm like, at the end of the day, it's just a polling animation, bro. It's only like a 5-second thing that you're only gonna see it like one time and then you're gonna skip it, you know? So it's just kind of like, you know.
Like, watch this shit. Like, 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 bro, this shit is whack. Like, what is this? They just splatting on the screen. Like, stop, redo. It is what
that's literally a weapon banner that just pulled right there, but yeah.
it is. Now, I actually like these animations. These little cute little animations here, and of course they gotta have the little child characters in the game. Of course, God, like I like.
Well, no shit, bro. It's an anime. It's an anime game, of course. They're gonna have lollies in it. Yeah, so
The 3D aspect, because most games they just do the 2D like PNG. I like it that it's like 3D, so I like that part. But they need.
I don't mind the 2D PNG because I played. You know, I literally played those games, like those Gacha games. I played since like the card games version of Gacha, right? Where they used to make like card designs or so, and they made them into a card aspect, right? That's how old I am. I've played, you know.
Fix this beginning part. You know what? Let me show you exactly what this game is. This is all they did. They just took this, all right? They took Genshin and they said, you know what? Let's go ahead and we're just going to zoom in. Let's just take away this hair, and maybe I'll fast forward. Maybe I'll make you watch me do this whole thing. Who knows? You'll just have to watch the video to see. Oh yeah, let's just erase all this goodiness here. Yeah, I'm gonna give them a new ear here. They went ahead and just plap one of these on all of their fucking characters. And this is pretty much Wuthering Waves. This is Wuthering Waves, boys.
You sure about that? He doesn't look like the Zhao from Withering Waves, to be honest. The one in Withering Waves is 10 times more better. So,
and gentlemen, and I said boys and peoples. There we go. And that's Wuthering Waves. That's literally what they did. Now what I want to do is just go through some quick points because I feel like they don't need a big explanation or example. I just want to kind of get them out there. So we're going to start with the alt animation. I think the alt animations are super anticlimactic. It's just like you pump it and it just feels like the game is like, all right, okay, go. Yeah, go fight. That's it. That's all you get. Just go.
Okay. So this I do agree. This I definitely do agree. I even said this like a way long time ago that the ultimates feel a little bit lackluster in me personally. But then like at the same time, right? I can play devil's advocate for this one. It's more grounded, right? This is not a fantasy kind of type of thing, right? It's a post-apocalyptic world, right? The world's on edge, right? And it's more grounded. So of course, nothing is gonna be like super insanely like god tier crazy like ultimate animations and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, yeah. So I understand both sides. Me personally, I think they're a little bit more weaker compared to PGR's ultimate animations, but I think through time, right? I think through time they'll definitely make the ultimates like way 10 times more better for future characters. And the best thing about it is that they sometimes do go back to the older characters and they give them a buff. Like they either add an extra passive, increase multipliers or anything like that, just for them not to feel out of date or anything. Because that's how they did in PGR. They buffed a few characters in PGR and added an extra animations and stuff like that. So I'm not really too worried personally because, like I said, I come from PGR, so that's why I'm not worried anything about Withering Waves and what they're gonna do with it. So
that's what it feels like. I want to feel like a god. I want to feel all powerful. When I hit that alt animation, I want effects. I want the whole world to change. I want the sky to split.
What are you comparing this to like Honkai Star Rail? But Honkai Star Rail is like a turn-based RPG game. You have to make those animations like fancy, not like compared to how it is in Genshin Impact, you know? Yeah, well, at the same time, like Genshin Impact, there's no character that changes the sky or something. It doesn't change to red or something, or some character makes an earthquake or something. You know, no, there's nothing that fucking crazy when it comes to Genshin Ultimate. Okay, let's just be honest here. Okay, let's just be 100% honest. There's nothing that fucking insane when it comes to Genshin Ultimate. Okay, there's nothing like groundbreaking or something like, oh my god, what the fuck? The sky is fucking piss yellow, holy shit, man, and it's pissing gold. You know, no, nothing is that fucking crazy. Okay, all right, let's just be real here. Okay, and also you're comparing it to a JRPG game, which is a turn-based game, of course. You know, so it's not really a good comparison for you to do. You know, if you're gonna compare Withering Waves, you know, to Genshin Impact, stay on the subject that you're comparing it to Genshin Impact, not to Honkai Star Rail, because Honkai Star Rail doesn't need to be in this conversation, to be honest. Yeah, but it doesn't change the entire sky of Tevat though. Like he doesn't bring a giant meteor from the actual sky. It just creates a black vortex above him to do it. It doesn't do the entire sky. That's what I'm saying. The entire Tevat sky. It's not like he brings a giant fucking boulder from outer space, you know?
Everything, okay? Now I feel like other games, they get that, especially Honkai. I think Honkai, and I know it's a turn-based game, when you ult, it's a crazy animation. It feels like an ult. It feels spectacular. It's amazing. But in this,
well, yeah, because it's a JRPG and you're trying to sell these characters, so you're gonna have to put the most effort in the goddamn fucking animations. What do you think?
this game is just like it zooms in on the character like, huh, and then it's like, all right, go fight. I don't like that. I think they need to fix that. I'm gonna be real. I think a lot of the echo animations feel heavier and sometimes look better than some of the character animations. I'll just be honest.
Yeah, because it's more grounded. Of course, it's gonna hit heavier.
I'll just gotta say that. I think some of the echoes or their fighting and combat animations are more well designed than some of the characters. I'll say some, not all. And speaking of just the animations themselves, I think some of the characters kind of share the same effects. And I'll show you what I mean, where every effect kind of looks like the character's a sword character. Like, yes, there are characters in the game that have different animations, but a lot of them share like the same, they just kind of look the same. If you just walk past and watch someone play the game, you wouldn't really be able to tell, besides like the colors, what character was what. Is that a huge deal for
That's not. You can tell who they are by the fighting style, bro. Like you can literally tell which sword person it is by the fighting style. Of course, if you're using this example, right? This what he just did right now, this right here. So you see this, right?
But a lot of them share like the same, they just kind of look the same. If you just walk past and watch someone play the game, you wouldn't really be able to
well, if you turn it black and white and speed it up, of course, you know, you're not gonna, well, I can still tell the difference, of course. It's, you know, and I wear glasses too as well, so it sounds like you need some better glasses in my personal opinion. But anyways, you know, it's just kind of like,
tell, besides like the colors, what character was what. Is that a huge deal? For me, I feel like when I get a new character, I want to feel like I'm using a new character, using a new weapon, etc. That's it on that point. Let's move on to the next one. I don't think hard equals good. I think there needs to be experience alongside that content or hardcore content, because let's be real, the experience is what makes the game memorable. Not just, oh yeah, I fought 10 monsters that took me an hour to beat. No.
yeah, but hard content means that you were fighting that one boss over and over again, and it was a memorable bosses. You know, there's some hard bosses that I fought, you know, through my time of playing games, right? And they're so fucking memorable, and I enjoyed them because it was hard, you know, like the Lingering Will or so from Kingdom Hearts 2, Marluxius 5 from the Data Battle from 2.5. Who else? Oh yes, that one reviving robot or so from Armored Core. Let me see, the monkey and the dragon, the lightning dragon or so at Endgame or so was my favorite ones in Sekiro. Let's see. Who else did I enjoy? Oh yeah, I also enjoyed Tiger X from freaking Monster Hunter. I thought that was fucking fantastic personally, and it was really hard too. Teostra was another one that left a good impression on me as well back then on the PSP. You know, um, like they're difficult. You know, they're difficult bosses, right? But they're memorable. I enjoyed them. Like I don't mind hard content. For me, when it came to Genshin Impact, right? The one content that I always refer to is the Hypostasis Symphony and the other versions of Hypostasis Symphony. Because you want to know why? You can add modifiers to the fight to make it harder. And that's the event that I like the most. All of these other events is literally the same fucking shit over and over and over again. And that's why none of these events were memorable besides Misty Dungeon from Inazuma and Hypostasis Symphony from Genshin Impact and all the other different versions of Hypostasis Symphony. Those are the only events that I enjoyed the most. Everything else is dog shit, okay? That's why me personally, when I'm going to play Withering Waves and I see hard content, right? And I want to beat it, you know, of course I'm going to do it and it's going to be memorable, you know?
There needs to be experience, right? There needs to be a journey there. And I think that
sounds like a skill issue in my personal opinion.
That's the casual side of the game. So
there is casualness in the game. What are you talking about? They literally added echo catching in the game and you can capture shiny versions of them. And even then, that event is optional. You don't have to do it. You're not obligated to do it, okay? If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. That's it. You know, it's not rocket science, bro. I feel like you got your ass handed to you or something, and then now you're just complaining about that.
I think they're catering way too hard to hardcore players right now. They're kind of...
Well, yeah, because we are the ones that wanted Genshin to be in a better state than how it is now. And we're trying to find another game that fills that void that is better than Genshin, which Withering Waves is better than Genshin, and has the content that we are looking for. That's why when Withering Waves comes out, I'm going to drop Genshin Impact completely because I don't want to come back to Genshin Impact. There's nothing to do in Genshin Impact. All of the content, even the combat part of the events, they made it 10 times more easier. They add a fucking mechanic in the game where you instantly kill everything. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, are you telling me that I min-max my characters and I can't even use them in their full potential because you decided to put something stupid like that in the game? So it's just kind of like, bro, come on.
Marketing this is like, oh hey, look, the game's hard, but it's like, bro, the reason why even hardcore players even played Genshin, you know, back when it dropped is because there was an experience. It felt like something, you know, when you drop.
No, I fucking played to mid-max my characters, bro, and I wanted to do the end game stuff in this game. I thought there was the end game, of course, you know, the end game that I knew was fucking Spiral Abyss back then. You know? That's what I wanted to do, was Spiral Abyss. Until I found out that, like, hey, you know, that's it. That's all. You only get like 4 or 5 floors for Spiral Abyss. That's it. That's all you fucking get, you know? So it's kind of like, that's it. Is there anything else? Is there, like, anything else that I can do? No. Well, it's just kind of like, oh, okay. That's cool. So what's the point of me min-maxing my characters, you know?
Dropped in, you picked Paimon out the water, and you went ahead and went through the woods. You see Amber, she comes out doing backflips, and then you see this femboy Venti. It's like, why is there a femboy in the woods with a dragon? Okay, now I gotta find out more, you know. And it just was exciting. And then you go into Mondstadt, you see, you know, Timmy, you see all these people, and it's like, wow, it's an experience. It feels like a world. The casuals will make or break this game. Like I said earlier, with the animations, I think there is no real hit satisfaction. I don't feel the weight of a lot of hits. Some, yes, but that's the problem. I shouldn't say some. Every single animation needs to crack, okay? It needs to go crazy. That's it.
So minute.
The world feels empty. I don't know what it is about it, but...
Didn't you just say this already? I thought he already said this already. Didn't he just already said this already? That the world is empty? I'm pretty sure he just fucking said that. Why are we going back in a circle again? What? What?
But it just feels empty. It feels like there's just a big map and the world doesn't feel alive. Enemies don't feel alive.
Feels like he said it he said it 3 times? Okay. Well, I remember him talking about it before. Okay. All right. I'm like, the problem is like, what's like, you're expecting NPCs to be walking around in this specific area or so? Are you like, are you high as fuck or something? Do you not know what a push a park? I've played, like, have you not played fucking Fallout or so? You know, there are some places where it's pretty populated, and then there's some places that are just not populated. There's like monsters in a certain area or so, but it's not fucking always populated. You know, there's some places that are just kind of like, you know, sometimes it's dead. Sometimes there's you either see a creature walking around or a fucking monster or so. That's pretty much it. This is probably what you're gonna see, and the same thing in Withering Waves. You're gonna see a monster over there and a monster here, no monster over there. You know, roaming around the area.
It seems like they just place the enemy here. It's like, hey, you like hard content? Go fight. I want a better experience than that. The best way I can explain this is that in Genshin, there's Hilichurl. Those are like the main enemy that you fight. There are other enemies, but that's the main enemy. I think this game needs a main enemy around the world that you fight to make it feel more alive. You know,
there probably is one in Withering Waves, you know? And probably how they have it in subsection areas, right? Maybe like the down left side of the map has, you know, oh, mostly these enemies. And then if you go up north, there's like a bandit camp that's owned in the north area or something. They're called, I don't know, the Riders or something, you know? Or I don't know, to be honest, it's just kind of like,
there was settlements. You see them like walking around, you know, taking stuff back to the settlement. You just go ahead and
what the fuck? When does fucking Hilichurls take shit to their settlement? They don't do nothing like that. What the fuck? What Genshin Impact are you playing? I want to play that Genshin Impact. I want to see that minute detail. I've never seen a Hilichurl pick up some flowers or something, or go kill a boar and then take the meat back to their camp or something. I've never seen anything like that personally. What is this guy talking about? Where have you seen this? I've never seen this anywhere.
You pretty much just kill everybody in the camp. I think this game needs that livelihood in the world so it feels more alive, and you actually,
it's a fucking post. I love it how he keeps saying, oh, this world should be alive. It should be lively all the time. Bro, it's a post-apocalyptic world. It's supposed to be fucking dead. God damn it, dude. What the... Are you like not understanding artistic differences between a high fantasy game and an apocalyptic world? Like, hello, they're not the same. They're not the same. There's two different genres for a reason. I know.
you feel like you're
I've never seen a Hilichurl shoot a boar in my entire life, to be honest.
operating in a world rather than just a sandbox to go fight this level 110 boss or this weird stork or bear. The glider is too slow. Speed it up.
Yeah, that's fine.
This one,
yeah, I've heard a lot that the glider was really slow. So, but that's an easy fix. That's 100% an easy fix. That's nothing that's too crazy or anything.
For the hardcore players. So the lock on, it's like my camera's flopping and blopping and plopping everywhere. It's like, can we just lock it on so it just sticks on the character and it's just moving? It's like a chicken when you hold it and it does. We need that action. Okay, I want to see all that goodness. So you need to lock the camera.
I heard the camera was a little bit of an issue or so for certain boss fights or so in the game itself. That's the one thing I've heard too. Quite consistently, so I'm okay with this take.
So it's stable, so we can observe. If you're gonna copy Genshin, why you gotta copy the story tactics? What is with the stories and this bloated dialogue and this boring side quest. I am tired of seeing NPC side quests. Can we get side quests with like actual characters? And you know what? I'll probably make a video on what I want out of that. You can't have boring quests in the game. That is the
Yeah, that's fine, but the problem is that takes too much development time. Like, you're taking away development time on things that should be more important matters of the game, you know? Because apparently they're pumping out content every 6 weeks. Just like Genshin Impact, right? They're doing it every 6 weeks. So that's the reason why, you know, you have to put your resources in locations that need to be put in, so.
The game is playing the side quest, beating the content. It can't be boring. My last hot point is the story needs more Avenger style storytelling. More.
Why is he talking about the story again? Didn't we just talk about the story already? Why is he talking about the story again? Man, I feel like we're going around in circles too many times in this video, to be honest. This last bit is a little bit like, bruh.
More pizzazz, dumbed down, for casuals, easy to understand.
No, I don't want to dumb down for casuals because they're not catering to that audience. They're catering to us specific players, like me specifically, who has been complaining about Genshin Impact for a while, and there has been no improvement. Genshin Impact's story is so fucking bad. The pacing is terrible. There are some good moments, but at the end of the day, it's still not, you know, breathtaking. It's not a breathtaking story, you know. Compared to PGR, man, PGR makes me fucking feel upset about my characters, you know. So it's a way different. It's a way different. This is why Withering Waves' storytelling is going to be a lot more better than Genshin Impact, because it's grittier, it's dark, it's more monotone-ish, you know, when it comes to telling the story in like in a very sad, depressing kind of way. It's gonna get sad and depressing. I can tell 100%, you know.
I think this game needs that. So people understand the story. It's easy.
Well, it just sounds like a skill issue. It sounds like you have a zoomer brain who can't seem to pay attention on like pretty intricate storytelling, you know. And don't let him play any Dark Souls or any Elden Ring. He'll probably have a fit or so on trying to understand how the story is in that game.
Easy to digest. Even if you skip the story, you should know what's going on. I skip all the dialogue of every game, and I know the characters' names. I know what's going on. Honkai, I pretty much skipped every single thing, but I know everything that's going on. I know all the characters' names. I know where they're from. All of that. The story.
Well, fucking Paimon. Well, if you're skipping every dialogue or so for Genshin Impact, right? It's because Paimon re-says it again every single time. So, like, Paimon just gives you so much exposition or so it just reminds you again. For me, Honkai's story is just kind of like, you know.
Needs to be dumbed down. It's okay, but I'm just saying going
it doesn't need to be dumbed down.
1.1.2 when the game drops, I think
it just sounds like you just need to be smarter. That's about it. So, in my personal opinion.
They need to make sure that we have arcs. Oops. We need like a main villain for this arc, and then we fight that villain, and you just repeat, rinse and repeat, and we know this works.
No, that's fucking boring. It's just always fighting, you know. Oh, a new threat is coming out. Oh, a new villain's coming out. Oh, we gotta get stronger to go beat that villain. What is this? This is not a show. This is not a shonen. This is not a shonen anime. Okay, I can tell this guy watches shonen types animes just because of that specific dialogue. You know, it's like, oh, just rinse and repeat, you know, have this enemy be here. Oh, and then once we defeat that enemy, a new enemy shows up and blah, 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 and then blah, 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 and then rinse and repeat. I'm like, no, sometimes I just want to see something cool, something interesting sometimes. It doesn't have to be always the same thing every single time, you know? Maybe there can be some twists and turns. Maybe they can be like, oh my god, this caught me off grip, you know? Or like maybe one of our friends decided to join the villain side, you know? Something of a twist, you know?
Because anime does this. We need these enemies to be linked to the story, in my opinion, but that's more on another topic. So to conclude this, do I think this game will actually flop? Fuck yes. I think if they don't make these changes, there is no reason for anyone to switch over besides the hardcore.
Well, yeah, because it's fine if it's catering to, like, I guess you can say a niche audience, but you want to know something? Elden Ring was you know how like Souls like was very niche, right? It's a very like niche back then, right? But when Elden Ring like blew up in massiveness, right? Even people who have not tried Souls like games gave it a try. You know, it broke the niche barrier into a more wider and broader audience, and a lot of people did enjoy Elden Ring, you know. So I like seeing Elden Ring. I like seeing like other game genres, you know, breaking the norm into a more wider spectacle audiences for them to give it a try. So I feel like Withering Waves is gonna be just fine. So hey, Subaru, Witherings will hit hard. Then it's up to the community. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. I don't think it's gonna be that crazy, to be honest.
Players using this as content, they use it up, and then they wait 3 months for the next patch, and then the game.
No, it's gonna be 6 weeks. They literally said it'll be 6 weeks. It's gonna be just like Genshin Impact. So
it's dead for 3 months. Probably not 3 months, maybe 2 months or so, or 40 days, wherever the gacha cycle is. But I feel like that is not a successful game. I think as a gacha.
Okay, all right.
Gacha game, it'll be successful. But in terms of being a big 3 or being better than Genshin or a Genshin killer, I don't think so. I just really don't. And I think to me that's a flop, especially when it's trying to compare itself to, oh, I'm a Genshin killer. It's a Genshin killer. Look, man,
it never said it was a Genshin killer. It literally never said it was a Genshin killer. Where are you getting this from? Just because the YouTubers and the content creators called it the Genshin killer? You know, it's like I feel like this person is butthurt, like really, really, really badly or so.
I'm sorry, but you ain't got it like that. If they make changes and they fix some of these things, and when it drops, it's solid, the servers work, everything is going, I think it has a chance of actually killing Genshin. I really do. But I really think they need to focus on that casual aspect. But
yeah, like I said, nobody's gonna kill Genshin but Genshin themselves, but they've already been doing that since like after like 2.0, so just saying.
If it stays as is right now, I think it's going to be just like Tower of Fantasy. It's going to be good for a month, maybe 2 months. But after that, I think people would just like, oh yeah, it's just a game I play. And I tried to be as negative as possible in this video because this is a negative video, but I will probably make a video on the positives because there are a lot of positives to this game as well, which I think will help it succeed. But as far as being a Genshin killer, that's absolute fucking bullshit. I just don't.
Dude, he's so butthurt of people calling it the Genshin killer. Like he's actually butthurt. He's actually generally butthurt that the content creators called Withering Waves the Genshin killer.
See it. I think people are on that copium. They're waiting for another Genshin or another big game, and this is not it. It's not innovative enough. Genshin, when it came out, it came into a gacha space where all the games are fucking ass, and they said, all right.
No, because Genshin Impact came in at the right moment when COVID was at its highest peak and everyone was indoors. That's why it became super amazing and it blew off like it did. I think you're forgetting that Genshin Impact came in during COVID. Did you not know about this? The only thing that you can compare Withering Waves to Genshin is the physics.
Let's actually try to make a fucking game that's good, and it succeeded. They made billions and billions of fucking dollars, and now these games are trying to copy off Genshin, but they haven't caught lightning in a bottle because they are not fucking.
They're not gonna catch lightning in the bottle because we don't have another world pandemic where everyone has to stay indoors again. If there's another exact same thing where everyone has to stay indoors again, then Withering Waves is gonna do fucking well, to be honest.
Trying to innovate. They're just saying, oh, let's copy this template. So, but yeah, that's it. That's the video right there. So I'm gonna just end it. I'm gonna just press stop recording right now.
Man, that is man, that is not a great video, to be honest. That's actually like very terrible video. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. This guy, I don't know, his arguments are not great. There's some that are good, right? You know, at the end, of course. But everything else from the like, what is it, like 2/3 of this video is so bad. Like he repeated himself a lot in this context here. There's a lot of going around circles, and he comes back to the same topic over and over again, you know, saying it. It's just kind of like not great. I come from PGR. I've played PGR. I know how Kuro Games is and how they treat their players, okay? So I come from the backstory of them already knowing what kind of studio they are and how they treat their player base, you know? So that's why I'm 100% confident that I am going to enjoy Withering Waves, you know, compared to Genshin Impact, where I'm just like in the game for like 10 minutes and then I just leave. That's about it. So anyways, that's a terrible take. I've already it's already like an hour and 30 minutes or so of me trying to, you know, he's trying to nitpick and I'm trying to nitpick him, you know, at the end of the day. But anyways, that's the end of the video. That's a terrible take. Enjoy the games that you want to enjoy. If you like Genshin Impact, just play Genshin Impact. If you like Withering Waves, then play Withering Waves. For me personally, I'm gonna switch over to Withering Waves. My money is coming with me and going into Withering Waves and not Genshin Impact anymore. So anyways, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed.